Back at this again. The Great Tower. Such a great place. Truly love it here. Nice walk. And there goes the Guardian. And our allies. Great times. I feel like there's another challenge awaits us. Somewhere out there. Somewhere close. We're still at war with the Witness. But with time, we'll figure out a way to find him. And defeat him. But now, what can I do to get stronger in the meantime? Well, let's get a better view of the whole city. See how that works. Maybe. And here we are. The tower. And its city. Great place to be alive. Great place to call home. And look at that. Standing on the edge. Just how Cade 6 will like it. Always a gambling man. And yet, this is it. This is what we defend. Well, I got some explaining to do anyway on my end, because I think it's time that we bring back the Destiny Bros. So, you might be wondering what this next dungeon is about, since, you know, the Destiny Bros have always been doing dungeons ever since we been with each other in the fire team. This new dungeon is called Warlords Ruin. And when it comes to this dungeon, well, things have gotten to a very interesting turn here. This dungeon is way more pleasing and all that stuff, and I hope that you guys enjoy the first bit and me popping in and out and talking about my experience with each part of the dungeon. But then that is pretty much it. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all welcome the Destiny Bros back at it again in this Destiny 2's video. And I hope you all enjoy the Warlords Ruins. Now I shall summon the Destiny Bros. Yeah, about that jumping in and out. You're just gonna hear me probably for a majority of the whole video entirely, due to the fact that my whole audio got corrupted for this video. So which means everything was desynced, and then at the end everything just got completely, at least the audio part got completely utterly corrupted. I don't know what happened. So you're just going to be listening to my voice for here and out throughout this whole entire thing, with no audio, just sheer voice. So when it comes to this dungeon, the Warlords of Ruins, this was an experience, a ride along the way, and the fact that we get to jump from different areas, like traveling wise, to our said location is quite cool. Right now Grodd is showing me a little funny little chest over here, and this chest, it does something special. By special, it just flats out kills you, which you're going to see later on in the video. Clearly it doesn't happen here because I just got lucky. Apparently I'm just lucky. Alright, so the first boss encounter was an experience to be itself. It was very it was tricky for me at first, for us and the Destiny Bros, to figure out what to do in this scenario. But yeah, with that being said, we're over here clearing up mobs, set of that nature, you know, going toe to toe with enemies, and then we get teleported into this cage. Now at first I didn't know what was going on until I started shooting these taken eyes, and if you destroy all the taken eyes, you get set free. Basically, that's what happens. So I was the only lucky one to made it out alive during this encounter from the cages. And after that, he will spawn these scorn things on the ground. I don't remember what they're called at all. So please forgive me on that note, but you have to capture them. I'll show you in a moment of how they are captured. As you see, my friend is stepping in there, making sure the things are captured, and then is damage phase. So as you see, I shot my super a little bit earlier because I didn't understand it at first, but as you see, we are now doing damage to the said boss in order to get around to that point. And it's basically a cycle repeat over and over again, breaking yourself free out of the cages and then into stepping onto those scorn totem things, and then it initiates damage phase. And after that, it was all set in stone, and we were able to do it for this first boss encounter. So after we killed the boss, we got teleported into we are imprisoned now, and now it's up to us to figure out how to get out. And in the corner of my vision, there are these rotating devices on the top of the wall in these prison cells. As you will see soon, that I shoot one, it will spin. Boom, shot one, and then it started doing it, and then it will turn another way if you shoot it in the other direction. So the only way for us to get out of this situation was for us to shoot them in counterclockwise position, if I remember correctly, and that's how we were able to break out of the imprisonment. And bada bing bada boom, we are now set free. After the prison parts, there is a maze run that we have to go to in order to figure out where to go. And the maze part is very self-explanatory. Just run through the maze, figure out which way to go, and then you will make it to the next destination to where you need to go. So we're dealing with more mobs and stuff like that of that nature. And then we made it to the second encounter. And the second encounter is with a taken ogre, which is quite interesting to say the least. This spot was very it was kind of tricky to do because at first we didn't know what we do. And by the way, majority of these encounters, we figured out the first one by ourselves, but the second one we looked up due to the fact that we were very confused on what to do, and then afterwards we figured it out per se. So what we do is take out the taken eyes, and then if you take out the taken eyes on two ends of the map, it will spawn two mini bosses on each, like on both ends, one on the left and one on the right. There we go. Now we spawned the mini bosses, and then we took out one at a time, and sometimes both at a time, and we made sure that we got the totem thing. And on top of that, you have to be mindful of where you're at on the map, because due to the fact they do spawn a debuff called Biting Cold, and it's basically cold damage. And what you do to negate this a bad effect, you run to a torch, a fire torch on the wall, and it'll get rid of the debuff. And it's very easy because they're all along the line of the wall, so you can traverse to the left side and to the right side with ease and safety without even having to worry about the frost debuff damage, which if it stacks up to 10 will kill you. So when we get done with that, that means we get a fire orb, and we place those fire orbs in those totems at the boss area, and we light up each totem with fire, and then it will initiate the battle phase. There are 4 totems in total to light. And with that being said, when you light those all up, we'll initiate the damage phase. Oh, so it didn't even record us beating that whole part at all. So my footage did get corrupted to a great degree. So I don't have the finishing part to that encounter, but don't worry, because you at least get to see the final encounter instead, since I don't have that recorded. So when it comes to the final boss of the encounter, since I don't have the other one recorded, which is great because I don't have it recorded since my stuff got corrupted, majority of it. So when it comes to this part, we're basically doing the same thing but a bit differently. Instead, we're not playing with fire, we're playing tag. When it comes to tag, we are going to shoot the taken eyes that are on the boss right next to the Cyclops, whatever, the Chimera. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not saying Chimera because that's stupid. Chimera it is. So the Chimera final boss within the dungeon is the one that we're going up against, and each time when we shoot the eyes, it will spawn bosses that we have to beat like last time from the second encounter. But we're gonna get a new effect that's like Hex Revenge, and the only way to get rid of that is when we're playing tag with the Scorn. The Scorn enemies are like mini bosses, or at least like high-ranking majors that don't take any damage at all. So since they don't take any damage, the only way for us to get rid of the debuff is by meleeing them only. So basically we're playing tag with the enemy and making sure that we do not die from the debuff, and on top of this, capturing the Scorn totems. And then if you capture all that you need, you will be able to do the damage phase. And we do that repeatedly, over and over and over again, until we get to our final stand. Then after the final stand, we give the boss everything you have. That means your super, your everything, and that's exactly what we did. And then after that, we basically went home with the victory. And we had to split it up in 2 parts, so sucks that my recording didn't capture it all correctly, but you know what, it's whatever. We move, still trying to stay consistent on the grind, and we were able to do it. So I'm gonna cut back to the other me that's recording this after the fact that we did the dungeon. So I'm gonna see that part, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and cut back to other me. And just like that, we succeeded through all the challenges. Yeah, just fucking challenges. And just like that, we succeeded through the thick and end of the challenges that we faced throughout this dungeon. Everything was spectacular fun. I say 10 out of 10, to be honest. It was very straightforward and it was very enjoyable. So we have conquered the Warlords ruin, and I just had to say thanks to Fire Team, Grodd, and Goldie for being a part of the Destiny Rose. Like always I have fun with those guys. They're always great to hang out with, and I can't wait to do more dungeons with them in the future, and hopefully the new ones that even come out set forth, hopefully in the future. And yeah, it will just be a great time to be with those guys. So thank you so much for being a part of the Fire Team, and hopefully to see you in the next dungeon, my brothers.